Do you keep getting job interviews but never job offers? It could come down to how you're presenting yourself during the interview. And the most important part of that is our introduction. So today, we're going to cover the 2 simple steps that you can take to go from nervous and anxious to calm and confident when introducing yourself at your next interview. We all know that the first impression is vital. Those first 30 seconds are going to really set the bar for how the interviewer sees you. Now, sure, the first 30 seconds isn't the end-all be-all of your interaction, but everything that happens from that point on is either conflicting with that first impression or reinforcing it. And we all know that it is way harder to change our opinion of a person than it is to simply reaffirm what we already think about them. That's why it is so vital that we walk into that interview room very intentionally. Because we know those first few seconds where we introduce ourselves is going to determine how the interviewer sees us and will impact how we are seen throughout the rest of the interview. So how can we be sure to make a positive first impression? Well, there are some obvious things like being on time to your interview and hopefully wearing something professional. But these are hopefully obvious tips that you're doing already. The main thing we're going to focus on today is body language, specifically using your body language to come across as being confident and relaxed. These aren't necessarily even 2 separate things, but we're going to address each of them a little bit differently. Now, most of the time, body language is unconscious. It's usually a reflection of our mindset and habits rather than a driver of them. But there are lots of things that we know of that can instantly lead to us feeling and acting calmer, more relaxed, and yes, even more confident. In the first few minutes before your interview, the easiest thing to do is to breathe. But not just constant shallow breathing, right? We want to take deep, intentional breaths. It should feel like breathing all the way down into our stomach. This is going to increase the oxygen in your blood, decrease your blood pressure, and even slow down your heart rate. Honestly, the internet is full of breathing exercises that are surprisingly transformative, but staying focused on why we're here, taking several deep breaths is going to physiologically affect you and how you present yourself. Personally, I also like to use power poses here because I'm a firm believer in fake it till you make it. Now, if you don't know, power poses are basically just making poses that mimic power in the hope that we'll act more powerful and confident. But power poses are a little bit more pseudoscience, so take it or leave it. In this case, that just means that it's really hard to measure the objective effectiveness of power poses, and they kind of only work as far as you believe they're gonna work. So, do them, don't, it's up to you. If you're on the fence, give it a shot, I suppose. I like them, but it's certainly not gonna hurt if you give it a shot. The next thing we should be doing to ensure a great first impression is introducing ourselves confidently.
Hi, I'm James, I guess. It's nice to meet you. Hi, I'm James, great to meet you.
Which one of these displayed confidence, and which one came across as nervous and unsure? Little things like fidgeting, touching our hair, looking away when we talk, right? These things kill that confident vibe that we're trying to give off. When we have good posture, talk clearly, and smile, we check off like 90% of what looking confident really is. And it's gonna be front and center when you introduce yourself. But it's also something to consider throughout the entire interview. There's usually a minute or 2 of small talk before the actual interview questions really start. And that's the window of time that we're really trying to perfect when it comes to making that first impression. But as we know, the first question that is definitely going to come out of the interviewer's mouth is tell me about yourself. And by using the tips we just talked about, in addition to the info in this video, you are sure to make the best first impression at your next interview. Be sure to like this video if you found value, and I will see you over the next video.